I think that as a platform, it really is one of the platforms that are at the forefront of helping kind of freelancers get into the industry and learn. Do you have a question, Nowini? I see your hand is up. Okay. I don't know. I guess not. But yeah, I feel like Upwork has really been one of those platforms that are at the forefront of helping freelancers get into freelancing as a career and also as a hobby if you want to do it as a side thing. So it's definitely one of my favorite platforms. There are other platforms, but it's definitely the one that I would say is my absolute go-to. So we're going to get into it and what it's about and all of that. But just a disclaimer, I'll be looking down just to switch slides, so don't think I'm like advising you guys or something, just trying to do the whole administration control. Before I start with what with what Upwork is, I want to start with what freelancing is. One of the things I've come to understand, especially when interacting with a lot of young people in South Africa, is that there's a misconception around freelancing. They usually see it, we have like a more traditional sense of explaining what freelancing is, like basically piece jobs and, not necessarily anything digital. But obviously over time, given how the world has evolved into a digital space, freelancing has kind of not necessarily changed. There's still the traditional same, but it also has an additional sense of what freelancing is. So before I give you what my definition of freelancing is, can anybody tell me what they think freelancing is? Anybody?
I'll go if that's okay.
Yeah.
I think that freelancing is essentially, working by yourself with your own time, being able to share the skills that you've learned and being able to monetize them.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I think it's very important that when we are defining things, we put them in the simplest terms. So that is definitely what freelancing is, partially in terms of like you do get to control your own time. You get to select, the clients that you want to work with. You get to decide whether you want to be a freelancer that's working full time or do you want to be a project by project freelancer. But basically, freelancing is you having a set of skills and providing those skills as a service. That's pretty much it. As much as there's a lot of wording on this slide, I have put that there just so that you can have an in-depth understanding, but it's always better to simplify it. So whatever skill that you have, whether you're good at drawing digital drawings, provide that service. Whether you're good at marketing, provide that service. Whether you're good at coding, provide that service at a certain rate, and sit around what your time would look like as a freelancer. Which would bring me to my next point, which is viewing yourself as a business. So the difference between, in my opinion, a freelancer and someone who is working a 9 to 5, both of you went to go educate yourself, whether you went online or you went to university or college or whatever, you went and you acquired a set of skills and now you are providing these skills for a certain fee. That fee can be a fee set by you as a freelancer, or you can be earning a salary, which again, you're still being paid for the services that you are providing for that company, whatever that company is. And now, when it comes to viewing yourself as a freelancer, I feel that it changes your mindset towards how you see freelancing. It is a very fairly competitive market, especially because when it comes to me, I don't see freelancing. I don't freelance nationally. I never freelance nationally. Love South Africa as a country, but as a client base, I'm good. I'd rather be out there seeing what's out there in the globe and interacting with international clients. So whenever I speak about freelance, I'm always speaking about from an international perspective. And in this instance, what I'm saying is that when you view yourself as a freelancer, when you view yourself as a business as a freelancer, you're able to stand out in the international market because it is a fairly competitive market. The international world has been freelancing for years. We're only catching up with it now. And so if you're going to be from, Africa specifically, because we're still catching up with it as a continent, it's always good to see yourself as a business. When you see yourself as a business, your mindset towards freelancing changes. You're not just some person who is, offering random services anymore. You have, a system in place. You have an idea in terms of how do you want to strategize your growth as a freelancer. You start doing things like outsourcing. There's a client that I am working with, and I also follow on Instagram, and she's really good. She's a freelancer in the States, and she was doing a Q&A on her Instagram, and one of the questions she got was about like how did she become a high earning freelancer, and she decided that she was going to specialize in specifically email marketing on a platform called Clavio and only work with high paying clients. And so because of that, instead of just seeing herself as someone who can, obviously when you know email marketing, you know a range of other skills within the marketing spectrum as well, but deciding to specialize in and deciding that this is the category of clients that I'm going to work with is more of a business perspective than it is an individual perspective of just providing a service. So viewing yourself as a business when you're a freelancer always helps in terms of the direction that you want to go into in freelancing and how you're going to grow yourself and eventually get to a point where you're making passive income. That's my goal anyway. I don't want to be working for the rest of my life. I need at some point there to be passive income. And so when you view yourself as more than just an individual, that's kind of where the direction in which your mindset goes. Okay. And then brings me to my next point, which is the importance of educating yourself. A lot of people really have this misconception that you're going to get into freelancing and, just like that, you're going to start earning in high currency, making money. It's easy. You control your own schedule. You can be on the beach any time of the day. That's absolutely not what it's like. I so wish that that's what the freelancing experience was like, but it is not. It is a lot of hard work, especially in the beginning. And again, brings me to the point that I was speaking about in terms of like deciding what type of freelancer you want to be. You need to educate yourself in the sense of like, okay, cool. I know that there's this thing called freelancing. How do I get into it? First of all, what is it all about? What are other people in the industry of freelancing saying? Second to that, freelancing spans across multiple industries. What industry do you want to be in? Specifically for myself, I chose digital marketing because I've always been into marketing ever since I've just known myself and known the term marketing exists. At first, when I was younger, I used to just say I like business things. But then as I got older, I started to understand that, okay, this is kind of where my path is. And so when I came across freelancing, I realized that, okay, cool, I can do digital marketing. What am I going to do in digital marketing? I want to be a marketing specialist. How am I going to be a marketing specialist? How am I going to educate myself to make sure that I am, I'm one of the people that stand out within this industry that has an influx of people constantly coming in every day. So it's so important to go out there and find pieces of knowledge that can be helpful towards your journey. Read books. I did put some books on my TikTok, the Virtual Africa TikTok, about that will help you kind of getting started on your freelancing journey. Go out there and take some free online courses. Go out there and interact with other people that are in the industry, that have been in the industry, so that when it's time for you to establish yourself and say, this is the freelancer that I am, this is the value that I can bring to clients, you're very clear in terms of what your unique selling point is. Yeah, before I get into anything else, does anybody have a question? If not, you can also send me a thumbs up so I can know to move on. Okay, Ndugu.
Hey, I just wanted to find out. I'm quite in, you would know, I'm quite interested in the whole freelancing journey. How would you define or differentiate rather between a person that is a freelancer and having that business mentality as a freelancer and somebody that wants to start their own business? I don't know if I'm making sense
Yeah,
in my question. How do you differentiate the two? Because I think for me, I found it very difficult to want to do freelancing and earn that capacity from myself. And as you said, I don't want to work for the rest of my life. I want to have a passive income. And for me, the journey has been going towards creating a business that eventually, with time, works for itself. So I don't even have to be there to work for it. So, how would you differentiate the pros and cons of those two?
yeah. I think in the beginning, it's honestly about what you're basically on the path of what type of business do you want to be getting into as a freelancer, and what does that look like for you? Because when you make yourself a business, you become the business itself. So how you put yourself out there, how you strategize, how you come across clients and all of that. But as a business, for instance, the only example I can use is myself. So I'm a freelancer. I work as a marketing specialist as a freelancer, but I also run Virtual Africa, which is the client acquisition agency for freelancers. And that's why even on my TikTok, I don't have the same TikTok, because I feel that Virtual Africa is its own entity that needs to grow on its own. And Virtual Africa has its own strategy in which I needed to go, the direction in which I needed to grow, as opposed to the direction I need myself to grow as a freelancer as well. As a freelancer, I really like to get to a point where I have like expert level in the marketing world as well. And as a business, I'd really like to get to a point where when people need clients as freelancers, they know that we are a reliable source to come to. So I think it's about separating those two things, because in itself, they're two separate journeys, and understanding what each journey is going to take as a freelancer and as the business itself. I hope that answered you.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Any other questions? If not, thumbs up.
Can I ask?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know that when you start making the money, right,
Mhm.
as a freelancer, how difficult is it to navigate SARS and to just your salary and what you do with your salary and how you pay yourself? How do you go about that aspect of it? I'm not
Yeah.
sure if you get my question.
Yeah, as a freelancer, honestly, there isn't, well, so far, because I mainly use Upwork. I don't work. I feel like somebody who, and if there's someone here who has experience, will let us know. Someone who works as a freelancer outside of a specific platform has like a more accurate answer in terms of like how do you pay yourself, status, and all of that. But with me, I work directly with Upwork, and Upwork kind of handles most of the things in terms of tax, making sure that your money comes in. By the time your money comes to you, all the other additional fees that need to be paid have already been paid up, and it's up to you to decide what you do with your money. As a freelancer myself, that's basically my income, so I do with it as I please. But in terms of the income that comes from Virtual Africa, which is the company, that definitely has its own processes in which it goes into a business account, and I use that to also, do other business fees that I need to pay for and all of that. And that money isn't usually like touched, because it doesn't come to me, it comes to the business account. So I have two separate accounts. Back to basically what I was saying to Ndugu, making myself an entity and also making myself a brand at the same time. So it depends on the path in which you're on. But as a direct freelancer, no company, anything else, your money, if you use Upwork, your money comes straight to you, and it's up to you to decide what you do with it. You don't need to declare it as far as I'm concerned, because of your VAT number and all those things are already within the Upwork platform. So they do take all of those fees. Yeah. Can I answer your question? Okay, cool. Well, before I get into the big freelancing platform, there are multiple freelancing platforms that I've come across over the years. There's Freelancer, Guru, People Per Hour, Hubstaff, TopTal, Remoteco, Contra. The ones that I really like out of these ones so far, I really, really enjoy Contra. I think that if you're at the beginning of your journey, definitely go check it out, as you also check out Upwork, because Contra is literally what Upwork is. However, it doesn't take a commission fee, number one, which is great because it's still at the beginning, so they don't take any commission fee. Unlike Upwork, I mean, when I earn about $200 to $250, by the time it comes into my account, it's like $190. So Upwork takes quite a hefty fee, which it's worth it because it allows you to interact with clients on the platform. But the nice thing about Contra is that it does not take a fee. It is also relatively new, so it is a marketplace that's not saturated like Upwork is saturated. You get to interact with multiple clients there as well. Most of the clients on Contra are from the US. And also, as far as I'm concerned, you don't need to pay any like fee. For instance, Upwork, you need to give connects in order for you to apply for jobs on Upwork. On Contract, you just send your stuff to the client. So definitely go check it out because that's one I have come across and really liked. It's just that when I came across it, I was already pretty established on Upwork, so I was just like, let me continue growing my profile there. But if I was at the very beginning, I definitely would have included content to my portfolio of platforms to try. Second one is remote code that I really liked, but when I was applying for remote code, it was more for long-term projects. So if you are a 9 to 5 and you don't want to be a freelancer, but you want to be a remote worker, remote code is also good. It has both freelancing projects and it has full-time projects. I have received interviews and responses back from clients on remote code. So those are the top two that I would say are my favorite. The other ones I haven't really tried much. I have created accounts, but I didn't really interact with them that much. But I do know that they exist. So if you want to go and give them a shot, please do and come back to us and let us know how that was for you. Cool. And then we're getting to Upwork itself. So there are two big platforms within the freelancing industry that everybody's aware of nationally and internationally, which is Upwork and Fiverr. And so I just want to put them against each other just so I can talk about like which one I feel I prefer. But if anybody else has a different experience with these platforms, I'd really love to hear from you. So as you know, Upwork is a freelancing marketplace. For those that do not know, actually, let me say as you know, because some people don't know. Some people that do not know, Upwork is a freelancing marketplace. So what happens is that if you're a freelancer, you come and you create a profile there, put in all your details, put in all your skills, all the things that you do, and then a client also creates a profile on their end and they put in all the details and then they come and look for you and you also look for them. That's basically what it is. The platform where freelancers and clients can meet. You can set any fee that you want to set as a freelancer on Upwork. So you can decide whether you're worth $10, $15, $20. It's really up to you. Also, it is a variety of services. So you can come in as a freelancer who's looking to build a career, or some people really just do it as a side hustle. For instance, in varsity, I used to use it to write essays for people because I was really, really good. I have a degree in international relations. So I used to write those types of like essays and stuff for people just to get some free money on the side. So you can come and do it as a gig thing, or you can decide to establish yourself fully as a person who is within a specific niche who is providing a range of services. And then also the client engagement is very similar to when you're looking for a job or when you acquire a job. So you'll send a proposal. That proposal has a cover letter inside, it has your CV, it has all your documentation and all of that. If they really like you, they get back to you and say, hey, what's up? We like your stuff, let's have an interview. You have an interview just like you would have an interview in a normal job. And if that interview goes well, then they'll let you know in terms of like, did you get the job? When do you start? All of that stuff. The one thing I love about Upwork is that the process may be similar to when you're applying for a job, but it's like really quick sometimes. So you could send your stuff in today. The client could say they want to see you tomorrow and have the job by Friday if it's really that good. So that's my favorite thing, because I know that with external companies, the process takes long. You need to go to HR, come back, all of that. So I love Upwork because that process, as similar as it is and as thorough as it is, it can be really quick as well. And then again, when it comes back to the pricing, it's really up to you how minimum do you want to set yourself. Obviously, don't set yourself too low because Upwork takes fees as well. So you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot by setting yourself too low. My fee personally right now, it's sitting at $5. It's been sitting at $5 for quite some time now. I haven't changed it because I've just been working with the clients that I'm working with. But should I decide to, for some reason, want to obtain a new client, I'll probably take it up to like $8. So don't try your best not to, overcharge, which is something I want to get into at a later stage, because I know how tempting it could be to think, oh my God, I could be earning $20 an hour, but that's not really beneficial, especially when you're getting started. And then the second platform, which is well known as Fiverr. And before I get into Fiverr, if anybody has ever worked on Fiverr, please can you share your experience with us? I don't know if anyone has. If no one has, thumbs up so I can know to move on. Okay, cool. Well, it would have been really nice to hear from somebody who has interacted on Fiverr, because Fiverr is, as much as in itself it is also a marketplace where freelancers and clients meet, it's a bit different. I don't personally like its business model, but the business model is a bit different in the sense that you as a social media manager know that you can provide services in increasing engagement, graphic design, scheduling content, all of that. And so you put all of that into a digital package and you put that on Fiverr for you to sell and say, from 500 Rand or from 1,000 Rand, I can provide these services for you. And then a client that's looking for these specific, for instance, I did use Fiverr to find somebody, but not as a freelancer myself. I am looking to build a landing page, and so I want someone who's just going to build the landing page. That's a one-time project. It's not an ongoing project. So if you provide services like that, Fiverr is a good platform for you, because if you're a project by project freelancer, that's where clients that are looking for specific projects are going to. As a freelancer, the minimum fee that you set on Fiverr is about $5, which is why it's called Fiverr, because you can't set anything below $5. Again, it's project by project. Any type of service a digital service that you can provide that can be done in a limited space of time is probably where most freelancers are on Fiverr that provide those type of services. The client engagement is also very transactional, in the sense that you don't go through a whole interview and, what do you like about this job? And why do you want this gig? Why do you think you're valuable? It's really a situation of, can you do this? Yes, no. Here's the amount. Do you agree? Yes, I agree. You do the project, you get paid. That's pretty much how Fiverr works. Also, the thing about Fiverr is that it is quite okay, actually I'll answer your question as soon as I'm done here. It is quite, what do I want to say? It's quite saturated because there's so many people within the market in itself. And so I don't like it, because having the platform is there, cool, but you still have to market yourself outside of the Fiverr platform. So like people that you see on Instagram that have digital marketing pages or social media pages, or, and I want to say digital marketing a lot because like that's just where my head's at. I'm so sorry if I say, please don't feel like I'm excluding your profession. There's so many other professions, just that those are the words that are in my head right now. But those people that are social media managers, for instance, that are like, okay, I have a young social media agency, I can do this and this and this for you. Those people have to have a profile on Fiverr and create marketing on Instagram or whatever other platform as well, so as to draw traffic to that Fiverr link. That's the one thing I don't like about Fiverr. Upwork, honestly, the more you are consistent and the more you interact with the platform and apply for jobs and all of that, it pushes you up. It's like Instagram. The more, or TikTok, the more people engage with your stuff, the more it pushes you forward. So if I, as Simoloho, am looking for a virtual assistant, your name is gonna pop up there, and it has badges as well, so you can be a rising star, you can be a top talent, whatever, and you don't have to pay for any of those things. It just naturally ranks you and puts you there. With Fiverr, you need to really be working with so many clients for it to put you in front. And I feel like it's just double the marketing as opposed to what Upwork offers you. So yeah, let me answer questions. Ash, you had a question? And then I'll continue.
Hi. You pretty much answered it. I was gonna say, is Fiverr and Upwork not oversaturated?
Yeah.
But you did speak on that.
Yeah, no, they're definitely oversaturated, and which is why in the beginning I was talking about like what type of freelancer do you want to be, because there's so many people that offer the same services that you offer, and if you're just going to be mediocre, sorry, and average, then you're not going to stand out, because there's so many other people. Why must I choose you? Every time you look at anything that you do, whether professional or otherwise, why must I choose you? Why, especially when there's money involved, why must I take my $1,000 per month and give it to you? What do you offer? If your profile is just basic in the sense of like, oh guys, I do email marketing, and talk about metrics, talk about some of the things that you've done before, talk about why your skills are the highest, in demand, and anyway, we'll get into that at a later stage. But always present yourself as the prize, because if you don't see yourself as the prize, nobody else is going to see you as the prize. And there are people out there who have less skills than you do, but are getting clients on clients just because of their confidence and they know how to present themselves to the world. So yeah.
Can I ask a follow-up question on that?
Yeah.
So you were saying there's a difference at the beginning of what type of freelancer you want to be, and I think I'm falling into more of the remote worker side of things. Ideally, I want something consistent. And I do have a background in certifications and all of these things
Yeah.
in marketing.
Mhm.
But I'm just wondering, am I going to have success trying to find a long-term opportunity on a platform like Upwork? Or are they going to favor someone that's going to do this job over the next 2 weeks?
I think which is something I'll get into at a later stage, but Upwork has, when a person comes in and looks for talent, they specify the type of talent that they're looking for. So there is a section there that says like how long is this project for? Some are 3 months, 6 months, some say more than 12 months or more than 6 months. Those that say more than 6 months are most likely a full-time role. For instance, myself, I accidentally, I guess, because that wasn't my plan, landed myself into a full-time client. When it started, she was like, oh, you're gonna work 4 hours a day, and I was like, okay, cool, because I had other clients I was managing. Next thing she was like, can you work 6? And I was like, oh, I guess, okay. Then she's like, can you work 8? And I'm like, girl, that's a whole day. That's literally a whole day. That's a full-time role, basically. And so now I work fully as a marketing specialist, and then I have other clients whose hours I kind of had to cut down. She's a really amazing client. So you can find yourself in a position like that where somebody really is just looking to manage one person, because some companies aren't looking to manage multiple people. It's quite a lot of admin. And also as a freelancer, there are people who also don't want to deal with multiple clients because it's so overwhelming jumping from this person to this person. When you deal with one client, some people find it a bit better because you kind of locked in and understand what they need from you all the time. And when you're dealing with multiple clients, it can be a bit tricky. It really depends on who you are as a person and kind of like your objective. Dealing with one client, if they're super loyal and everything is stable, definitely go with that. Dealing with multiple clients is a bit safer because freelancing, I would say one of its cons is that you're a freelancer, so tomorrow they can be like, hey girl, this is not working out. And so it's always good to have multiple clients, so that should something like that happen, God forbid, then you have your eggs in other baskets. But if your strategy is so powerful and you are so good at what you do with that one client that they see so much value from you, there's no way they're going to drop you. So it really again goes back to strategizing and seeing the kind of person that you are. But on Upwork, there is room for both freelancers. The freelancer who's looking to work with multiple clients and the freelancer who's looking for something long term. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
More than. Thank you so much.
Cool. Ndugu, please ask your question if you still remember it. I know I was rambling for so long.
Sorry, I raised my hand by mistake.
Okay. I saw a raised hand. I forgot the name. Can someone please, whoever just raised their hand now, please can you ask your question? I don't know if it was Ipiling or Orapit somebody. I don't remember. But anyway, if I did answer your question, you feel like you don't want to ask it anymore, that's cool. Can I get a thumbs up to make sure that I can move on, please? Okay, wait a minute. Di had a question.
No, sorry, I meant to put a thumbs up.
Oh yeah, that happened.
My bad.
It happens. You feel like, is it a question or is it an accidental thumbs up?
Hey, yeah, I wanted to ask, does it matter how long one has been on any platform? Because I have been on Fiverr, although I got no job before, it's been a long time. I think more than 2 years. Also on Upwork, and sometimes I feel like potential clients could be seeing that I've been on the platform for so long, yet got so little work. Does it really matter?
It does, but it's not about just being on the platform as well. Fiverr, quite honestly, I cannot speak to Fiverr. I signed up, I saw the process, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do this. But Upwork, because I've been engaging with it for a very long time, you need to be consistently on the platform. Whether you're scrolling randomly or you are answering messages, if you have any messages coming through, or you're just like going through jobs, but be on the platform. As much as you've been on the platform for a long time, it also needs to recognize you as a user, somebody that wants to participate in this platform. Because with all platforms that are like digital, there's a lot of data counts, and if you're not there being consistent participating with it, then it counts you as a data count and pushes your profile at the back. So if you're on Upwork for quite some time, always be consistent in the sense of like go through it, scroll, apply for jobs if you're at a point where you need to be applying for jobs, but be on the platform. For instance, I'm always on the platform because as much as I don't take jobs anymore, I do answer like people's DMs because some people ask me like questions. There was a feature where you could connect with other freelancers, but they recently canceled it. So there's people from like those messages that are like messaging me that I answer. Sometimes I go through some of the jobs just to see what's happening out there. And also as an agency owner, I go through jobs to see what I can find for the freelancers that are in my agency without having applying to anything. But because I'm on that platform consistently, I'm always getting, I think there's like 4 or 5 jobs right now that are in my invite box that I haven't answered yet because I'm just like always on the platform. So the key is just always being on the platform as much as you can. Obviously, you can't spend the whole day there, but as much as you can be on the platform, be on the platform. Yeah. Are you answered?
I am very well answered. Thank you very much.
Okay, cool. Okay, let me move on. So let's get into what we all came here for, which is the platform itself, Upwork. So the 5 key assets when setting up your profile are bio optimization, having your project sample, having a portfolio, having a video introduction, and having a professional image. So those are the 5 top things. Getting into the bio optimization. So when you get into the Upwork platform and you sign up and you create your profile, one of the things that they're going to ask obviously is who are you? What do you do? Why are you here? Basically. And so what I've seen on LinkedIn as well and also on Upwork. So take this bio, advice for both platforms. People really put a whole bunch of stuff there that nobody really cares about. They put things like, oh, I studied, art, but then somewhere down the line I decided I want to be a marketing specialist and my mom said I'd be great as a marketing. Like nobody really cares about any of that. There's absolutely no need for you to be putting your whole entire life story in your bio. As much as they ask, who are you? They're asking who you are from a professional perspective. Nobody wants to know too much about you. What they want to know is what are your skills? How do you bring value? And have you brought value if you have experience? And that's exactly how I always kind of advise people to set up their profile. So in the beginning, you start by saying, my name is Timoloko. I'm a digital marketing specialist. I specialize in SEO, email marketing, social media management, content creation, graphics, data analytics, and whatever else. I can't think of another skill right now. I bring value with these skills by doing this and this and this and this. I can increase engagement. I can, bring increased customer life value. I don't know, there's a whole bunch of terms. But second paragraph is definitely how are you bringing value? Third paragraph, how have you brought value? In the past, with this previous role, I did this and this and this and this, and this was the outcome that was received from that. And also, the reason why putting your skills at the top and the value that they bring, when someone opens your Upwork profile, the first thing they see is the top part. They don't see anything else at the bottom. If they want to read the rest of it, then yes, but it's highly unlikely. It's like an Instagram video. Most of the time, they watch the first like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, then they don't watch the rest. So always make sure that at the top, you have jam-packed bomb value bio that speaks about who you are and how you're going to help this person as a client, because when they're looking for you, that's exactly what they want to see. They want to see the keywords. They don't want to see anything else. They don't really even care. Honestly, I've never been asked what did I study. Even this digital marketing that I said I've done, no one has ever said, let's see your qualifications. So there's no point in putting all of that stuff there. Just put what you are there to offer and end it there. Obviously, make it as brief as possible. And then secondly, we have project samples. Project samples are so important if you are a freelancer that's starting out that has never done anything, in the sense of like you've never worked. So for instance, I was contacted by someone who is an academic, has been working in the academic industry and has been writing essays and research and all of that, and would like to move into becoming a full-time freelance copywriter. That is such a beautiful transition because it matches, but they don't have anything that shows that they've done copywriting before, because as much as academic research and essays is writing, it's not copywriting, it's not content writing, it's not writing for marketing. So this is where the person will now have to create a project sample. Creating a project sample is going out there, having a case study, and basically just creating your own little project. Again, there's no other way to put it. Creating your own little project where you have a case study, you decide, okay, I want to run a campaign on this. These are my metrics, these are my KPIs, these are all of the things that come with that. And then from there, you create your project sample, which will show whether you can actually perform the job or not. So as a copywriter, creating some samples where maybe you've written like a blog or an article or some captions, having some knowledge in terms of SEO and using that knowledge on that project sample. As a social media manager, creating a campaign for yourself, setting metrics, and then writing all about what that campaign was like and what results have you gotten from all of that. So if you don't have any experience in anything that you want to get into, having a project sample is always a good start because it's something that presents and shows that you can actually do the job. I saw a question coming about tax and finances. I will answer that at the end of this. I'll try to answer that at the end of this. Then it is your portfolio. So if you have experience, let's say you have been working as a full-time, again, I'm going to mention marketing. Sorry to people that are not in marketing, there's other roles as well, but that's the one that's in my head. And you've worked with clients in the past, but maybe in a more corporate space, that's still something that you did. That's still something that could be added to your portfolio. And you can use that to basically consolidate all the projects and all the campaigns and everything that you basically worked on, putting it in a portfolio and using that to present to clients. So on Upwork, you do have the option to add all of those things. You have a place where you can add your bio, you have a place where you can add your project sample, and you have a place where you can add your portfolio as well. I'm pretty sure portfolio we're all very familiar with what a portfolio is, but to not assume, I just thought I should explain that. And then the video introduction. When it comes to video introductions, people tend to think that a video introduction is not important, but I would like to believe it is the most important. For anybody that comes into my agency, I always request or ask that they create like a short video, which is what I want to send out to clients. And I know that some people aren't really comfortable being in front of the camera, or they feel that they're just not confident or anything else that comes with that. But you have to understand that if you are somebody who is amongst a crowd of people, this is one of the things that make you stand out. Nothing else is going to give somebody the ability to connect with you besides a video. Because honestly, on a cover letter or on a CV, it's just another document that everybody is sending in. But if somebody receives a CV with a video, this is who I am, this is what I do, and this is what I think I can do for you, immediately they're very impressed because you took the effort to go and actually show yourself and speak about yourself and be confident in knowing that these are the type of skills that you can provide. I personally, every single job where I've had to do a video introduction, I've gotten. Because I feel like they were able to connect with me more because I was able to express myself and be able to kind of go in and tell them what it is I do. Some of them send you questions and ask you, please answer these questions and all of that. But the fact that they get the opportunity to connect with you on video, it's always better because they have a feeling as if they know you. It's like influencers, basically. You don't know Chaos personally, but you feel like you can relate to her because of the things that she posts on her video. If she was just posting text all the time, I don't think that she would have the traction that she has now. So video marketing is a very important aspect of marketing yourself as a freelancer. And also there is a section on Upwork to put your video there. So definitely utilize that to the best of your advantage. And then we have your professional image. Some people's images are not so professional on Upwork, and obviously that's not for me to judge, but I do know that it's definitely not giving them points when it comes to clients. Presentability is a big factor. For instance, if I was in my pajamas, I'm at home, I could be in my pajamas right now. So I don't think you guys would feel very trusting of what I'm saying if I was looking raggedy. And so that's basically the same perception that comes with Upwork as well. If you have a messy picture or it's just a mess, guys, what's professional and what's not professional. Avoid non-professional images. The least you can do, I'm not saying go get a photo shoot, is there's a blank wall behind you. Take a selfie, smile, wear a nice shirt, and you don't even have to be wearing any pants if that's how you want to feel. But as long as the top half of you looks professional, then that's exactly what people want to see. Yeah, I said quite a lot. Any questions? No questions. The question about the finance and the tax. Oh, sorry, Lislinga.
Hi there. Yeah, I wanted to ask, so when we talk about Upwork as a platform and having to promote yourself, through your social media platforms, I don't know if you know like other digital marketers that are like content creators like your K Khateves and stuff.
Mhm.
They also like promote themselves a lot when they started on Upwork. And what they kind of promote is that they make more money not on Upwork
Yeah.
than that. So I just wanted to get like your perspective. Like, do you feel like it would be better promoting yourself on your social media pages and then you can like charge higher? Because with Upwork, if your name is just under someone who's charging, let's say you charge $5, someone charges $4. I don't know. But what do you think? Do you think you could make more money or less?
I think it goes back to what I started with when I said, what type of freelancer do you want to be? I personally have always preferred the Upwork platform because of the security that comes with it. But if you've gotten to a point where you feel that you're able to connect with people outside of platforms and get them to actually trust you as a brand, as a person, and you've built yourself up to that level, then you can definitely make more money from that. I work from the Upwork platform, but one of the things that I do is that I work with international clients that are not on the Upwork platform. So Upwork has this ability where you can send direct contracts to people that are not on the platform to get them into the platform and work with them on the platform. I use the platform as a sense of security because one of the risks that come with being just like a freelancer is that sometimes you don't get paid because there's no systems in place and all of that. But if you have established a system, you have a strategy and all of that, and you do view yourself as a business, because now that's somebody who views themselves as a business, then it is possible to definitely make money off of the platform as opposed to in the platform. So it depends on the direction in which you feel you as a person, what aligns with you more. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome. Is it this is hiding the name? The person with her hand up, sorry, I can't see your name. There's like an icon in front of your name. Please ask your question.
So I'm hearing that you're saying that there's a system where you can actually bring people onto the platform of Upwork. Personally, I think I enjoy the part where you like Upwork has a sense of security, right? Because now if you're working on the outside, people aren't really as trustworthy to pay you and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So now my thing is, how do you go about like recruiting people from the outside and bring them on the inside? If
Okay.
you get
Yeah. So what I do, not just for myself, but for anybody that's basically in my agency, I as much as I look for jobs on Upwork, that's not my first port of call. It's usually my last port of call. I go outside and I'd be like, okay, cool. So I'm looking for a social media manager role. I look for a social media manager role in whatever company that I'm looking for. And then what I do is that I contact the hiring manager on LinkedIn and I'm like, hi, this is me. This is what I do. And I would really like to work with you. Right. But this is after I've sent them a connect. So there's a connect message. I think LinkedIn has like, I don't know how much, I think it's 150 characters where you can be like, hi, this is who I am, and I'd really like to connect with you. Once they accept that connection, then I can DM them and let them know what exactly I'm looking for. 5 times out of 10 they respond with their okay, cool, let's hear what you're about, let's set up a meeting. Then that's where, okay, I'm able to pitch myself, which is a whole other conversation about pitching yourself and presenting yourself and all of that. But that's where I'm able to pitch myself and say, this is what I do. Or since I'm not pitching myself, I'm pitching other freelancers. This is the freelancer I'm working with, this is what they do, this is why I think they're great for this role that you have. And should it get to a point where they agree, they've already went through the conversation with me. They've already seen me. They've already taken all the necessary steps. So also, when you are approaching a company, it's always easier for them to actually use Upwork because of them. They don't have to worry on their end on what the paperwork looks like. Because once you send them the contract via Upwork, Upwork takes care of payments, Upwork takes care of basically everything. It's just for them to create a profile and accept that contract. And everything else happens on Upwork. So in terms of billing you for the hours or you billing them for the hours, is that time tracker on Upwork. It does that for you. In terms of project basis, because there is project basis as well, hitting milestones, basically the administration of what a contract takes is done on Upwork, and most people like the fact that they don't have to go through all of that admin. And again, it's a con, but it's also a pro. It's easier to work with freelancers because there aren't as much baggage as a person that's a full-time person, because you need to take the details, you need to do this, put them in the system, create an employee number, all of that. With freelancers, there isn't that much work, and so they always, I don't say always because now that's like a huge number, but they are likely to agree to coming onto the platform with you, especially if they've taken the initiative to have a whole conversation with you. So, yeah. Are you answered? Okay, cool. Any other questions? Okay, so the question about the finance and the tax and all of that, again, Upwork, my favorite platform, they shouldn't be a brand investment. It does take care of the financial side. So recently, which is great, it wasn't available a couple of years ago, but it is now, you actually add your tax number on Upwork as well. So all of those things get done by Upwork in the sense that by the time the money comes to you, then it is your money. All the fees that you have to pay, taxes, all of that, that's already taken. In terms of your finances, some people really want to keep this earning once a month thing because I love earning weekly, but sometimes it's tricky because you end up using money you're not supposed to be using. So if you want to be strict and keep your money, once a month, you don't have to withdraw your money. You can keep it there and take it out at the end of the month. It's really up to you in terms of how you want to deal with your money. But by the time it lands into your account, all the necessary fees that are supposed to have been paid have been paid. Cool. Maropeng?
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Hello. I just wanted you to highlight, just go through a bit of on Upwork. There are a lot of scammers, and I, for one, I started Upwork quite a few years ago. I didn't know what it was, so I was just browsing through and just trying out live. But then I came across a lot of scammers, and for me, there is a gap between what to trust and what not to trust, and it's like a bit disheartening to go on with Upwork because of that. So could you just kindly share your, how you navigate through that? How do you see this one is not okay, and how do you see this one is okay, and how do you invest yourself in something that you can, trust?
Yeah. Okay. That is the next slide. So great. Cool. Let me get
Thank
into
you.
that. Yeah, let me get into that. I think this is a very big concern for most people that have come across the platform because of yes, there are people there who are scamming. I've come across a couple of scammers myself, and so I can understand why this would be a concern. And if anybody else has experienced any other type of red flag, as soon as I'm done with these, please share your experience. These are from personally what I've seen, what I've experienced, and what I've seen that, okay, I need to avoid this in order for me to land a more legitimate client. So the first thing is a client asking for free work. I know not everybody is in the group, but we had a person in the group who was just sharing her experience where they were asking her if she could create some sort of recording and send it to them. That is a huge red flag because I was explaining that some people use recordings to create admins and all of that, and that could be seen as a form of work. And so if you send your proposal, a client responds and they're like, hi, can you do this thing for me? They don't even say anything about, we like you, we like what your work is like, all of that. They're already just automatically asking you to do an assessment, send a recording, send a video, unless that video is you saying, hi, this is what I do, these are my skills, and this is how I'm valuable. Don't send anything that is free work. Before they can ask you to do any type of assessment, they have to sign a contract with you. And when I say sign a contract, I mean send a contract to you, to your profile. If they want to close that contract after that assignment, then that's fine. They always have the option to do that. But you must bill them for that 2 to 3 hours that it's going to take to make that assignment. If they're asking you to do anything that is free, that looks like work, that looks like a project, for instance, someone saying, no, create a content strategy for me. That's definitely something that needs to be billed for, and that is definitely a red flag, because what will happen is that you'll create that thing obviously in the hopes of wanting to get this job, and they will probably be like, oh no, sorry, we didn't like it, when they know they're going to go and use it, or they just won't respond to you. So definitely avoid at all costs. Second to that, unverified payments. An experience I had this client who everything was good. We started the contract. It was a bit shady in the beginning, but anyway, I was like, hey, let me give it a shot. We started the contract, and then halfway through, he stopped. I don't know if he disconnected his account or what was going on, but Upwork sent me a huge alert saying, stop working for this person immediately. We need to see what's happening with this contract. And when I asked them, I sent them a request, and I was like, what's going on? They're like, no, this person's account is disconnected from their Upwork profile, meaning that although their payment was verified in the beginning, it is now unverified. And so it tells you, it pauses the contract. You can't do any work at all yourself until that person is able to fix whatever the issue is, or if a payment declines or something. So that's where the security comes with in terms of payments with Upwork. There have been some people who have been scammed, I won't lie, but it is a lot more difficult to scam someone on Upwork with money, especially if your payment is verified. So avoid people whose profiles have payments unverified. It's usually in gray, you can see it, it's white, it says payments unverified. Completely avoid that, because it does increase the risk of the person not paying you on the platform as soon as you're done with the work, or during the duration of the work, depending on whether it's an hourly contract or a fixed contract. And then another red flag is an unclear job description. So she's like, I can't go to my Upwork right now, but some job descriptions are very clear. I'm looking for a marketing specialist who can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for me. And these are the skills that I need them to have. It looks very much like a job description that you would see on LinkedIn, right? That's a perfect job description. That's what a job description is supposed to look like, because then you know what is expected from you. Then there's a job description that's going to say, hi, I'm looking for someone who's going to create 30 posts for me. I'm not saying those things are scams, but most of the time, it's not really thought through, and it's always difficult for you as a freelancer, especially somebody who's trying to build their credibility on the Upwork platform, because just like other platforms that are of a working nature, you do need to build your credibility. I wouldn't go for jobs that don't have clear job descriptions, that are just like gigs, because of, again, there is a risk of that person not really getting back to you, or the working relationship being horrible, or you just being confused all the time because they keep on changing in terms of what they want, because there isn't a clear job description in terms of what do they actually need from you. So if you can avoid those people at all costs, definitely avoid them. And then the fourth one is lack of reviews. Again, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're a scammer. It just means they haven't been on the platform for a long time. I don't trust people that haven't been on the platform for quite some time, because I feel that they're probably an opportunist, or they're trying to get something quickly out of the platform. Sometimes it is good, because, for instance, I don't have a profile of a person that's looking for a freelancer, so I could create a profile now saying I'm looking for a freelancer, and there won't be any reviews, because it would be the first time. So it doesn't necessarily mean I'm a scammer, but they're not really the best category of people to build long-term working relationships with. And that's also one thing that factors into your Upwork score, for lack of a better word. How long have you actually been working with these clientele? How is your relationship with managing clients? And if you're always going for clients that are just dropping off like this, it does not look good for your profile. So if you can avoid people who don't have reviews on their profile, definitely avoid them. But if they have a proper job description and everything looks good, but the only thing is that they don't have a review because they're probably new on the platform, I would say still go for them. But if it looks a bit shady in the sense that they don't have a job description, there's no reviews, payment unverified, because there are lots of those, that's a huge definite scam. Definitely avoid those at all costs. So yeah, those are my tips on scams and scammers. Any questions before I continue? Linda, I think.
Hi, Simo.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask, I have experience as a virtual assistant. I worked as a virtual assistant for like 2 years, but the contract ended. And then now I went into learning paid media advertising, media buying. And now I do not have experience as a media buyer.
Mhm.
How do I start getting experience as a media buyer on Upwork? Do I outsource my media buying services, like especially from countries like Philippines or India and stuff like that, while I still build my portfolio? Or should I go on Upwork and and just say I need a client that I could do media buying for free, while I build a portfolio so that I may build myself towards getting a proper client in future?
Yeah, no, you're definitely on the right path. They always advise people to volunteer first, especially if they try to pick up a lot of experience. So the outsourcing to different companies, that's definitely a good idea. And volunteering on Upwork, I wouldn't suggest that because, okay, there's a pro and a con to that. There's a con in the sense that if you approach a company and you say you want to do something for free on specifically Upwork, it might look like you're dodgy because everybody on Upwork is there to get money. That's just one of the things. But it could be a pro in the sense that it's going to build your profile, because again, all the clients that are on Upwork, you can just reference them on your profile. But it's always good to approach companies on LinkedIn. I think that's always the best approach because if you're there on LinkedIn, you know that they are legit, number one. And second to that, you can always have them. So on Upwork, there's a section where you can put your experience where you've worked with different companies. And it's rather best to do that. So reach out to a company on LinkedIn and say, hey, I'm a media buyer. This is what I do. Thank you so much, Luna. We really appreciate your time. Hope you have a good day. Sorry. I'm a media buyer. And I'm really getting into this industry. Can I please volunteer for whatever you guys need me to do in the specific section of the job? Companies, especially established companies, love. It's like they don't have money and they have a lot of money, but they love free work, free people. So there's a high chance they'll say yes to that. So definitely reach out to a company on LinkedIn, build that portfolio, build that experience, then come back on Upwork and say, this is what I've done, these are the companies I've worked with. And also it's a very interesting journey that you're on. You may not even need Upwork because most of the time Upwork is for people who are just like in the middle, not necessarily starting out, but in the middle and are looking for a place to connect with clients. But if you've already found an avenue where you're already connecting with clients, you have to understand when you ask those people to volunteer with them, you're building a relationship. So they could end up saying, oh my God, you're so good at what you do. We want you full time, or we want you, so you might not even need Upwork. But should you get to a point where you do need Upwork, it's always good to pick up the experience from legitimized companies and then come and put them into your profile when you create your Upwork profile. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, I hope I answered everything.
Yes, you did.
Okay, cool. Look, Tula.
Hi everyone. So in the job descriptions, right, I've come across this thing where they say that type this, then whatever, that write whatever, to show that you've read the instructions or the description thoroughly. So is that like a red flag, or it's just a thing that they do to like check that you've actually read whatever, or is it something to look out for?
It's definitely a thing that they do in terms of checking that you actually have read the job description. Because some people just randomly apply without checking what they're applying for, because obviously it has a sense of quick, fast pacedness. So some people are just like applying. So that is a good way to check if somebody has applied. I've had a lot of people come through Upwork to me. Like for instance, the client I'm working with now, I think when she sent me her thing, it said, what did it say? It said something like, say you're a rock star, marketing something. And, I did say that in the beginning, and then I wrote my cover letter. So it's definitely just something to check that you actually have read the job description. It's not a red flag. Yeah, guys, I'm seeing one screen because I'm using my phone and I can't see the other questions. I hope I'm not missing anybody's raised hand. Onabile, I think. Ask your question.
Hi, I think Mora, other person put their hand up first. So they can
I think it was up from the first time. Do you want to ask a question, Marubeng?
No, I'm fine.
Yeah, it was from the first time. Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, right? Since I'm fairly new to the platform, recently just started wanting to explore this freelancing thing. And I see that whenever I put in a proposal or whatever it may be, I do write down my cover letter and stuff. But then I noticed from what you were saying is that we also need to add some what do you call this, like some supporting documents to the to the proposal or whatever it may be. So I'm asking now, what do we necessarily put there? And yeah.
Yeah. So again, I'll get into that towards the end. But one of the supporting documents that you should add, or the documents that you should add, definitely obviously add your CV. Now, when it comes to your CV, we all have this mistake of sending one CV everywhere. If you have the time, specialize your CV according to what that job is looking for, number one. Number two, your project sample. So if you have a project sample that aligns with what they're looking for, definitely attach that, because more than anything, over and above your cover letter saying, yes, I can do this thing, something that shows that you can actually do this thing will definitely make you more credible than just having a video. Just having a normal cover letter. So your CV, specialize it, as well as having a project sample. Also, if let's say your portfolio has previous work that you've done, maybe you can take out sections of that portfolio and put them in a customized profile, customized document that speaks only to what this role is about, so that you can be in alignment with exactly what they're looking for. Always try and be in alignment with exactly what they're looking for if you can. Even when you're applying for jobs, which is something I'm going to get into next here, try and be exactly what they're looking for if you can be. If you're not that, there's a high chance that they won't accept you. So, and also because Upwork has connects, you want to save your connects as much as you can. So try and apply for jobs that are in like true alignment with what you are and your skills are. Cool. Nompilo? Hi, Nompilo.
Sorry to be the party pooper. I just wanted to highlight our time and find out where we are with you, Timo.
Hey, guys. I don't even know. So far, hey, you know what? Let me try and okay. I'm skipping to the last part because I know it's 10, né? But what I want to mention, oh my god, there's so many things that I'm skipping. Firstly,
You know what's great? The great part is you are going to be sending them quite an insightful document, right? From this webinar.
Yes.
So
We'll send that, and maybe what I'll do as well, maybe we could also send them the link with the slides or something. I don't know. But yeah, there is a comprehensive guide that has templates as well, so you'll be able to use that. But I want to be like super, super quick. So, firstly, when it comes to Upwork, to apply for jobs, it's not free. You have to use Connect. Connects are a digital currency that's being used in the Upwork platform only, and they cost $2.88. They are $15 cents, but in rand you convert it, it's basically $3. And so when you start your profile, you get 40 free connects, and every month you get 10 free connects. But if you want to buy any connect, they're basically $3 per connect. Make sure you use those connects wisely so that you don't end up applying for jobs for where people won't respond. But what I do know is that if someone rejects or withdraws their proposal from you, then you do get your connects back. But still, they're a very finite resource, so make sure you use them as best as you can. Then landing clients, again, apply for jobs that fit your skills directly. If they're saying that they need 4 types of skills, make sure at least you have 3 of those skills. If you have experience in your past, make sure that you have done maybe a role like that. And in your cover letter, speak about how you've done that role and the outcome of that, so that it's easier for you in terms of landing the clients that you want to get. And then also just quickly on you as a red flag as well, because we tend to also be red flags. One of the biggest mistakes that I see freelancers make on the Upwork platform is charging really high prices. Of course, guys, you want to make money. Everybody wants to make money. But you can't get into Upwork as a beginner and start charging $50 per hour, because you're literally competing with people that have been on that platform for long, that have project samples, that have worked with clients, that are under agencies. And so when you put yourself at such a high rate, you're automatically disqualifying yourself because of they thinking this person doesn't even have experience like that. What are they charging $50 for? Unless you're a software engineer or a coding person, there's absolutely no reason to be charging over, in my opinion, $15. Even $15 is pretty high, but I don't think they should usually be charging anything over $15, especially in the beginning. And then just going to get into the importance of customizing your proposal. So one of the things that I always do is that I always make sure my proposal is in alignment with what the job description and the client is looking for. So I call it the ChatGPT method because I use ChatGPT for basically everything, and I also use it for this. What I do is that I will copy the job description, which is the first step. Second step is taking my experience that is relevant to what the job description says. So if they're saying that they're looking for a social media manager, I will take all the experience where I was in social media, doing social media things, take all that experience, put it in a specific, I usually use my notes app, just so everything's in one place. So I'll copy the job description, I'll copy my experience in my notes app, and then I'll also copy my skills that are relevant to that job, and I'll copy my education. So I did courses in SEO, digital marketing, email marketing as well. And if the role is looking for those types of skills, I always add the education that is relevant to that. Then I go to ChatGPT and I use this prompt, which is write me a cover letter for this role using the job description, my skills and my experience. Begin by stating my skills and how they align with the role, following with how I intend to bring value to the organization. And it will write you an absolutely beautiful cover letter, which is a proposal letter, which you can put on your Upwork when you send it to the client. Make sure that it says the right things, because also Upwork, I mean, ChatGPT is very hyperbolic. It can say things like, you met Nelson Mandela before he died. So make sure that it's not actually lying about some of the things that you did. Make sure that it's in straight alignment with what you need it to be. And also, again, brings me back to the point of, what's this? Put your skills and your value at the top, especially in a proposal cover letter, please, guys. Because when you open, I was watching this, there's this people I follow on TikTok that talk about Upwork, and he was showing like what your proposal letter looks like from the other side. And it's literally just a snippet of the words at the top, like maybe the first paragraph. So if the first paragraph you're talking about your trip to Durban, it's over for you. Make sure that in that first paragraph, you've got the skills jam-packed so that they're like, oh, this is interesting. This is what I'm looking for. Yes, now I'm willing to read the rest of it and look at the documents. But that first paragraph is literally your make it or break it moment. So make sure that you are putting everything that is necessary in there so that it helps you land that job. Yeah, that is everything in, speed speaking. So, yeah, guys, I don't know if you have any questions quickly before we wrap up.
Do we have any more last questions quickly?
I do, but I don't know if this is the right platform. Maybe Stimo, I can give you a call after this. I'm not sure if this is the right platform. But with regards to your agency, I just want to just understand how it works in terms of the connects and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if this is the right platform. Must I give you a call after?
Oh no, I can just answer for the sake of everybody. So I'm responsible for all of that. As soon as you come into the agency and you've given me all that I need in terms of you as an individual, as a freelancer, and all the skills that you provide, I am responsible for purchasing connects. I'm responsible for doing the outside client acquisition as well, because of that's just part of our process. So you don't have to pay any like connect or anything. There is most of the time, especially for someone that's kind of coming into the agency, we do have a $250 joining fee for people who are at the beginning and they don't know they want to come into freelancing, but they don't know how to come into freelancing. We have courses that we give you for free, and we create your profile for free. And then for people that are established and just looking for clients, we do have a $150 fee, and that $150 fee is basically just for setting up your profile, because there is quite a lot that goes into that, and to make sure that there's uniformity in how the profiles look as well. So that's pretty much it. But in terms of like connects, that's my baby, basically.
Okay, cool. So would you suggest, because I've been listening to that, because I also wanted to get some insight on Upwork, would you suggest that I also do it on my side? Would that be beneficial, or do you guys just handle everything?
We handle everything, but honestly, I'm not opposed to anybody going out and looking for something, especially if you come across an opportunity that's for you. And also, when it is like that because of we didn't actually look for the client for you. That's fully yours. So we don't take any commission or anything of that nature. You'd still be under our agency just so that in terms of administration, there isn't complications for the clients that we do source for you. But if you on Upwork and you apply for a job and you find it and you know, they accept you and all of that, then that's fully yours. When the money comes in, it comes through all to you. We don't take any commission. But for any clients that we find, we do take a commission. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Pile?
Hey, Timulucho, I just wanted to know, apart from this, do you offer any mentorships perhaps? Because
Yeah.
I would love to learn.
So I'm in the very long process of creating a digital course. Essentially, I wanted it to be a mentorship program, but I realized that honestly, just how my schedule is looking, I wouldn't be able to give value and time the way I would like to. So I'm currently in the process of recording a digital course for everybody that would be interested in learning. And as soon as that is out, I'll let you guys know. It'll probably be the platform in which I will announce that is my TikTok, which is virtual.africa. So if you can just follow us there, then whenever I do release the course, that's probably the first place I'm going to let people know. So yeah, you'll know by then and you can definitely purchase it from that time. Yeah. Cool. Did I answer every question? Answer any other question?
That's probably all we have for today. Do we have more questions? Okay.
Okay. Wow, guys.
Maybe not.
This is great. Thank you so much for your questions. Thank you so much for your interaction. If you didn't get a chance to to ask me any question, we do have a WhatsApp line which is managed by me. So I'm just gonna put the number out there quickly so that because I know that we didn't all get a chance to ask questions. Sorry. So the number is 079. Someone put in the comments 079 177 6792. So 079 177 6792. That's our WhatsApp line. Obviously we have emails and all of that, but I'm quicker to answer on WhatsApp. So if you have any other questions that you want to ask me or you want to inquire about the agency, then definitely. Then yes, as Nombilo mentioned, there is a guide, a comprehensive guide that has most of all of I've spoken about, also some templates as well to help you get started in terms of reaching out to clients, and also templates that are going to be helpful towards creating like your cover letter, all of that. So yeah, thank you so much for your time. And yeah, this was really amazing. I really hope it was helpful to you guys.
Thank you so much, Timo. We learned a great deal.
So could you say those numbers again, please?
Sorry, I don't know them off by heart. It is 079 177 6792.
Okay, so I see somebody is asking for a recording. The recording will be available on the Collabora Hub website. In fact, if you are not on our Collabora Hub WhatsApp group and if you're not following us on the socials, you are missing out because we were recording this and it's definitely going to be available. Make sure you check the messages section if maybe you want a link to join our WhatsApp and to find our website where you're going to find the recording and everything. Just check on the comments. We've put down all the links you need over there. Timo, thank you so much.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you guys. Have an
Great,
amazing
Mama. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
everybody.
Timo.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Timo. Bye.
With regards to the free booklet that Timo has prepared for you guys, everybody that signed up, obviously you are all here because you signed up. You should receive it within the next week or so. Just polishing a little details there and there, but it's gonna be coming through in your inboxes. Stay tuned, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a great morning. Have a great day. See you all on the Collabora Hub